Hi, my name is Anton, and I run as Marcus.
Hi, I'm Julia, and I run as Witch's Cat.
Hi, I'm Matt, and I run as Bear.
Hi, my name's Jake. I run as Price.
Welcome to London Underground. Greetings, runners. How do on this jolly London morning, day, afternoon, evening, night?
Hey, we're back. Shadowrun, baby.
Yeah, we're here
Yay!
for the finale. That's not product placement, by the way. That's just me drinking my drink.
Is this the final episode then?
This is the finale. Or your paths as runners have led you to this point. Can you feel it? Can you feel that tension rising in your gut, gripping your chest?
I feel something rising.
Who are we defeating? The
Gut.
AI or is it Meridius?
All of them.
Both of them.
And Black Phoenix.
Yes.
And Black.
The answer is yes.
Okay.
So yes. Speaking of, last mission, you successfully infiltrated a art gala cum party by the internationally renowned superstar Mardi Gras, in the hopes of siphoning some information from her manager, Annabelle Clegg. There was a unexpected arrival of a face you've not seen in a while. That's belonging to Meridius Ortega, the leader of what used to be the London Underground, which was the, in inverted commas, organised Shadowrunner network that existed in the underground, the disused underground tunnels beneath London, but is now a prolific #1 wanted terrorist on the run, and you've all been struggling to eke out your existences in the shadow of the pressure exerted on Meridius and the underground. But yeah, you've bumped into him. Seemingly seems you have more in common with what was going on than you thought you did, didn't you?
Yeah, turned out he was the boss. He was Mr. Smith.
He was the employer. Meridius was the employer.
Bastard.
Yes, you've done the job. He's paid you quite well. Most of you are stinking rich, apart from Marcus, who's just been in persistent debt since seemingly the campaign started.
Act 1.
Yes. But with all of that kind of in mind, who would like to move into the final mission?
Yes, please.
Let's do it.
Okay. Well, first off the back of that last mission, we need to do some link ups. So, Marcus, starting with you,
Yes.
as always. Who are you linking up with off the back of last mission, and why?
I'm linking up with Witch's Cat
Mm-hmm.
because we did that whole sneaky bit where we went and located the phone for that lady we were trying to steal the phone input data on. That thing.
Perfect. Okay, so you're linking up for your romantic trip across the Sky Bridge. Next up, Ellie, Witch's Cat. Who are you linking up with?
Ellie's going to link up with Marcus for a similar reason, but also he really did her a solid by trying his best to get that photo she needed of the celebrity at the party, which was a favour to one of her contacts. And it was all going very wrong, and then Marcus took a blurry shot from across the room that we're just gonna have to hope. We're just gonna have to hope does it
with his eyes, yeah.
with his eye cameras. She was very grateful for the effort. Whether it is enough is another matter.
Amazing. Okay, so a link with Marcus takes you to. You're at +3 at the moment, or takes
I
you
thought
to
we were
+3?
on. I don't think it takes me to +3. Yeah.
Okay, very good, very good. Price. Who art thou linking with?
I'm going to go with Bear for general shenanigans of turning up to the gala, trying to fake our disguises and doing a little magic show.
A little dance.
Yep.
Okay, very, very good. And last but not least, Bear, who are you linking with?
Yeah, my memory of last time is so hazy, but I think I remember. I think I remember using Price's gizmo that he made me quite effectively. So I'll pick him.
Amazing. Okay, so Marcus with Ellie, Ellie with Marcus, Price with Bear, Bear with Price. Very, very good. In which case, yeah, the last thing you remember of that previous job was Meridius on the phone to you saying that he'll be in touch. That call was approximately 3 weeks ago. So, with that in mind, let's start with Witch's Cat. What have you been doing in these 3 weeks?
3 weeks since the party. Probably been kind of watching my comlink for a message from Mary, like a hawk, like a girl with a crush, but not. Very much a girl wronged, a girl scorned. Like, where the hell is he?
Sure.
Employs us for a job, and he goes dark again. So yeah, probably slightly convinced he's going to call any moment now, surely.
Okay.
And I think she's still grappling with a couple of things. I think there's the Man of Whispers from 2 missions ago. He's out now, and she's still really concerned about that. So it's kind of still the big AI, scary AI that they came across on their last mission but one. So she's a bit worried about that and thinking about what can be done. So she's probably been sort of doing a bit of investigation on the Matrix to try and figure out what can be done about that. And the other thing, she's still trying to find the right moment to tell Bear about what she found out on the hospital mission, about the fact that he was part of a mysterious experiment that clearly wiped his memory. But she's found that out. She hasn't shared it with Bear, has no idea how to tell him, but she's beginning to think it's not fair to keep it from him any longer.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not right of you.
Cheers.
Your moral.
Thanks. Thanks, Bryce. Helpful feedback as always.
So, whilst we have him in mind, Bear, what have you been doing over the past 3 weeks?
I love the idea that Cat's conscience just has Price's voice.
I'm like a little angel thing on her shoulder.
Yeah.
And there's a little devil one as well.
That's Marcus.
That's
Marcus,
yeah.
Bear has been spending the last 3 weeks at the on and off at the Dwarven community centre that Angus runs. He's basically with Cat's help, I imagine, because she knows about online banking and things. He has basically donated his money through a series of. He's asked Cat to sort of make it anonymous into the community centre's account. And he then has turned up to it, and Angus has obviously told him that this money's appeared, they're not sure where it's from, and he's volunteering to help use the money to sort of fix the centre up. So that's what he's been doing over the last few weeks.
Out out of curiosity, like roughly how many creds have you donated? Because I just want to check something. Just want to give us some context to what you've just said.
Well, he has a sense that things are sort of drawing to a climax. So he's donated everything except for what he needs for immediate needs and to help pay the rent and that kind of stuff.
So, like, in excess of, like, what, 20 cred?
20 plus cred, yeah.
Okay. Out of curiosity, I'm pretty sure, like, vehicles, like, full-blown cars are, like, 4 cred.
Yeah, you charged me that for mine last time.
Right, so you've donated 5 cars worth of money to this community centre. Good on you, Bear. Good on you.
So it was like 200 grand or something you just dropped.
They've got a minibus. They fixed the windows.
It was pretty run down, so they needed a lot of work. Like they needed a new playground, all the new equipment, loads of new sports stuff. Yeah.
Marcus tells you they need new beer taps.
In which case, whilst you're at the youth centre, what have you done about the situation regarding Hamish and his new recent employment? What steps have you taken?
Bear knows this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Bear'd probably take Hamish to one side and. He's doing his best to keep him busy in the sort of renovation of the centre so that he won't have time to run jobs for Marcus. But he's also, during the course of this work, has taken him to one side and said, look, steer clear of that character. And hoping that, the renewed opportunities he'll have as part of the centre is will convince him to stay away.
Okay, fair enough. In which case, Marcus, you've noticed that one of your crew doesn't seem to be turning up for as many jobs as he used to. What have you been doing over the past 3 weeks?
Ringing up Hamish.
Where are you?
God damn it, Hamish! Listen, we gotta talk about punctuality, right? When I tell you we need a job, I need you to be there. All right, I ain't paying you for nothing. This is a great job, great opportunity. This is room for improvement. I need you to be there. See you tonight.
Valuable work experience, yes.
This is an internship.
Okay, so besides harassing Hamish, because off screen, Hamish tries to leave only to get a big meaty fist grab him by the back of the collar, and as Bear drags him back into the community centre.
Boring.
What else have you been up to?
I think Marcus, at this point, would have moved out of Josh and Kat's flat.
Okay.
What?
We got money. This is booming. He's running jobs with Hamish, but that's not going very well.
Everyone move out.
And Thompson. He's got this whole. Sensitive cargo transportation business going on.
Have you moved into the apartment on the other side of the corridor to Ellie?
Oh, it's like Will and Grace.
Or New Girl.
Maybe.
New Girl. Everyone lives on the same level of the same apartment building.
Let's say yes.
Yeah.
But
the apartment above.
For some reason, he spends most of his time in Kat's flat.
Didn't
trying
he move out?
Well, he lives across the road, across the corridor, but yeah.
Yeah, it's where he keeps his guns.
Just occasionally turns to him and goes, "Go home, please
Kat.
go home."
It's good for me to be here with Josh. We talk about things.
A terrible influence on that boy.
Also, Marcus's place hasn't had cable installed yet. So, we just gotta...
Yeah, he just wants to sponge off your Netflix.
Pretty much, yeah. I can't afford the prices increase, Kat. It's really expensive.
Oh, God.
So, there we go. That's what Marcus has been up to, I think. Okay. Yes.
And last but not least, Price, what have you been up to?
I have been driving my new car around the place a bit, trying to get used to how to drive it.
Is it identical to your old one?
No, it's a bit changed. I'll put a picture in there for you. You can upload it at some point during the thing. It's in your general chat.
Thank you.
You got like a fancy sports cars, right? Wasn't that?
Yeah,
It was fast,
it's
loud.
fast, aggressive, garish, loud with a pop-up autocannon. Is the thing.
The best bit, the pop-up autocannon.
I have been looking after my little churchgoers, so I need to spend some time with them. I think I will be merging over these 3 weeks that Order of the True Consequence, the Magic Initiate Society, into the church as part of like one of the little youth group things in the evening. That we can all just keep it all together as one thing, and and also, in fact, just keeping an eye out on some of the news. For I'm still very conscious that 2 creatures escaped from that hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially 75 DH3, that big, tall, brown, furry, winged mythological thing, and there's also another one, an avian reptilian creature. So I want to keep my eyes out in the news of any sort of like strange things
Did
heard
they
around.
escape?
Sure.
Well, we don't know. We didn't.
They were
We
unaccounted
didn't hang
for.
around long enough, so it would just
Alright, yeah.
be nice to know if they occasionally, randomly turn up.
Yep, no, that is fair enough. In which case, so for the 2 of you that have been news watching, Ellie and Price, in terms of so as you're looking for things relating to like the Man of Whispers, Ellie, and like weird kind of matrixy stuff. Interestingly, the Matrix seems quite calm, quite quiet, almost unusually so. You don't even get, you're not even getting like worried notifications from like people, contacts such as Ezekiel. The boards are quite quiet. There doesn't seem there doesn't really seem to be a whole lot of Shadowrunner activity.
Right.
Across like the shadow net.
They're all dead.
Well,
He's picking them off one by one.
you can't help but get the feeling that this lull seems almost to be like a calm before the storm.
Boy. Okay.
Something's happening. Like something's feels like it's going to go down in near London. But there's just no one really knows. Like there's rumors and speculation, but no one definitively knows. And in fact, the only kind of recurring there are no odd reports of hackers getting fried in the Matrix or anything like that. And across the shadow boards, just the one kind of recurring message seems to be, where is Meridius? What was the other bit that you were news hunting on? Was it just the Man of Whispers?
I think it was just the Man of Whispers,
Okay,
yeah.
Price, as you scour the more occult and sort of like arcane focused news, trying to keep an eye out for these magical creatures, these meta creatures. You do, thankfully, over the space of the last 3 weeks, you have seen reports that the beasts appear. So one of the beasts, there was a very peculiar incident where what appeared to be a drug den. In what appeared to be a drug den, there was a creature of some sort. It was almost described as like a reptilian-esque chicken, approximately the size of a large dog, in a drug den surrounded by what appeared to be petrified drug den dwellers. But it's one of the first sightings of a cockatrice in the UK in quite some time. But quite some time. But yes, security from Genesis Life Tech managed to capture and secure the cockatrice, and it is now it has been safely destroyed, so as not to cause any more harm to the public. That said, that was a very small news snippet in the maelstrom of kind of panic, like especially conversations between, or sort of like in amongst various lodges, both like wizard lodges and also shaman lodges, about really kind of weird stuff happening with magic in general. Like people are struggling to cast spells. Spells just seem significantly kind of out of control. It's like you're in the center of a raging whirlpool. Just people accidentally setting themselves on fire when they go to light a candle. Windows of buildings being blown out from the most insignificant kind of spells. From a magical perspective, just things don't seem right, and it's almost like everyone's significantly more juiced than they would be, than they should be. And even you yourself have noticed that all of the, every time you've gone to use your telekinesis, it's like
all the cutlery has come out the drawer at me.
All the cutlery's come out the drawer at you.
Just with a teaspoon.
Yes, precisely. It's just become unwieldy, almost like you've got strength that you can't account for. But yeah, that just seems to be and that's been going on for the past couple, 2-3 weeks. But there is what is the occasion that brings the four of you to Kat's house, to Ellie's house?
No Wi-Fi.
Okay.
I thought we'd meet at Bear's new youth centre opening, but that's fine. We'll go to after that, we'll all go round.
Maybe we've all been to the youth centre opening, and now we've all gone back to mine for tea.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Price's special stash of tea he's left on the top shelf of the kitchen cupboard. Okay.
Dan.
Yes.
I'll just have. There's two things I want to do in those 2 weeks, but we can come back to that if you want.
No, go for it.
Now. So I'd like to roll my business roll, which is called hustling.
Oh God. Okay. Yes.
All right. Did it roll?
That's
Success. 11.
Okay. So you've had to acquire a new member of staff because unfortunately Hamish seems to be preoccupied to do the debt collection.
What? Hamish had a friend from the Dwarven Youth Centre, and I could use him.
So the revolving door. Okay.
I've still got 4 cred left to spend on assassins, Marcus.
You need more than 4 cred to kill Marcus. Come on, let's face it.
Okay, amazing. So between Thompson doing your deliveries and what's the name of this new dwarf, Anton?
His name is...
If it's not typically Scottish.
Neil?
Sure. Sure. Neil the dwarf, yeah, fine. Okay, so Hamish's friend, Neil, has been running the debt collection significantly more successfully than Hamish, I hasten to add.
Yeah, winning.
Neil came with his own crowbar.
I like it. Dedication. You're promoted.
You gain 1 cred and 1 gear token off the back of their exploits. So we'll drop a gear token on your section there. Very, very good.
Like it. Senior intern, Neil.
In which case, perhaps you're just tucking into a really expensive bottle of bourbon at this after party with your with the change of your 1 cred.
And Marcus will go under the knife as well.
Whoa!
Let's spill it. Let's throw out being. Yeah, he wants to kill
Himself?
Yeah. Well, first off, before you click, who is it that you're going to?
Go to Zoe. She's good.
Nah,
Good girl.
Mr. Shen.
Okay,
Ooh.
so are you declaring a contact?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Shen.
To be
Yep.
fair, I've heard he's good too.
Yeah, he does excellent sushi.
Oh, wait, what? That Mr. Shen. Oh, no.
That.
Okay.
No,
So-
you think of Mr. Shen. No, I'm talking about Mr. Shen's.
Right. Oh, no.
I hope he washes his knives.
Heard mixed
They
things.
do laundry,
Contamination.
sushi, and they have a side business.
Oh,
Laundry and
no.
sushi.
Sushi and surgery Wednesdays. Yeah,
Yeah.
2-for-1 deal.
No!
You need that protein for the
So-
recovery process.
Mr. Shen is a shorter, Chinese-looking elf.
Okay. Okay, so he's a Chinese,
Yes.
a small Chinese elf, like a
Yes.
short Chinese elf. Okay, cool.
Yes.
Who does sushi? Okay, brilliant. And
Sure, he's not Japanese.
are
you sure?
You can have a Chinese sushi.
Of course, that's fine. I just want to be sure.
Marcus probably does not know. Let's face it.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay.
Okay, so you've gone to Mr. Shen. You've declared him as your contact. To approach Mr. Shen, we're going to need a hit the street to get the
Yes.
cyberware. Okay.
Rajesh.
Okay. So, what? Out of curiosity, what cyberware is it that you're going for?
It is nervous implant. I think that's what it's called.
Nervous
Fine.
implant. What does that make you do? Twitch.
Yes.
I think it actually does. To be fair,
What?
Synthetic nerves. That's the one. There
synthetic.
you go.
nerves.
Oh, right.
I'll copy and I will paste it.
Okay.
Do you remember in the pre-YouTube days we had Tom playing with us, who played that sort of street fighter type,
yeah.
and he was like 50% cyberware.
Mhm.
You're basically turning into that, but with guns, Marcus.
You're getting there. You're definitely getting there.
He wants the
Tom.
edge. He wants the edge to kill Jacob. So something needs to change because so far it hasn't worked out. So
Sure.
Hmm.
Okay, so
Okay.
synthetic nerves. The replacement is so you're getting your nervous system replaced with an electronic one. +1 to mix it up. Okay, very good. Okay, so on a 7, you manage to find a set of synthetic nerves that is compatible with your body.
yeah, second hand.
However, choose 2. So the request is going to cost you extra. Because it's going to
So-
take some time.
Time because I have time, right?
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Because we are like planning the 2
Got
weeks.
3
So
weeks, yeah.
time, and your contact needs you to help them out with something. If you turn them down, take -1 and going to this move till you make it right.
Okay. So, in which case we'll wrap this one up real quick. The street dealer tells you that they can get you the synthetic nerves. More appropriately, you can get the synthetic. You can pay, and then they'll give you the location of the synthetic nerves, and then you can help yourself to them. And you find out that it's a rival cyber dealer, like cyberware dealer, in sort of like southwest near London. How, as you the place is a bit surprisingly for the area. The place is quite run down, and it's clear that the people that are in possession of the synthetic nerves are like they sell a lot of things under the table. There's a lot of like BTL programs like Better Than Life, which is effectively like matrix drugs, if you will, and physical narcotics and whatnot. Like, it's clear that they don't like having the attention from authorities just as much as you don't, I suspect. But they are stood between you and your synthetic nerves. How did you resolve the situation and come into possession of the synthetic nerves? What was your tactic?
Probably like place an order and then intercept the order, like an intercompany order,
Okay.
and then just essentially hijack the shipment, right? With the help of Thompson.
Okay. In that case, roll me a. How are you hijacking the? Like, were you going in effectively all guns blazing? Okay, mix it up.
Yeah. Mix it up. Synth. I guess I'm not, am I shooting? Yeah, I guess I am.
Yeah.
Fine.
Okay.
Additionally, choose two.
So, in which case, so you managed to hijack the delivery, if you will.
Yes.
And I need you to choose two. So Thompson's with you as an aside, so you can choose to make too much noise. I will advance a clock. It won't be a mission clock. It'll be a clock. You take harm as established by the fiction. So basically, the delivery itself is armed. So there was a bit of a shootout, but you're able to get the synths. So yeah, a clock goes forward. You take harm. Ally takes harm, or something of value breaks.
All right. The convoy is armed. Marcus got shot, and it made a lot of noise.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Normal day for Marcus.
You took a bullet. Thompson managed to save you despite the injury, you're able to make off with the synthetic nerves. In the aftermath of everyone kind of like the gang panicking, trying to putting out like hits on you, if you will, to try and reclaim their property. Unbeknownst to you, your description reached a particular set of ears.
Who this?
And one of the clocks has risen.
Oh, which one was it? Do we know?
Oh, I know which one it was.
Oh,
Actually,
what is it?
you're absolutely right, Julia. 2 clocks.
Wash.
What do you mean I'm right?
Disgusting.
Oh, no. Jacob?
So yes, you managed to get the synth nerves. Okay, so
Done. You have to go under the knife now.
yes, now go under the knife
Jeez,
to
this
see
is a
how
lot of-
well
A lot of
see how
rolls
many
just to
bullet
get some
holes the
neural-
synthetic nerves.
Oh, jeez.
But this is not a small operation. So I guess the cost is it's 8 cred, right?
Well, you've basically stolen it, right? So roll cred spent. So you can spend a max of 2 cred, and this is on how basically which cyberware installation plan you're paying Mr. Chen's for.
I recommend going for the premium bundle.
With the complimentary sushi.
Oh, what sushi? Good sushi.
Don't cheap out
So,
now, Marcus.
How much can I pay? You said
Up to 2.
I'll pay 2.
Okay. 2 cred.
So I don't pay. Okay, I don't pay for the cyberware, but
No,
I do
because you
pay
nicked
for
it.
I guess I got shot.
You got shot for your trouble.
Hold on, but I would probably pay 1 to get patched up, right?
That's the point. Yes, so you would have paid 1 for the information.
Okay.
You would have paid 1 for the medical bills, and now
Yes.
you're paying 2 to get the thing actually installed.
4. So that's okay. Happy days. All right, pay 2, and then we gun the knife. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you adding anything to this roll?
Plus 2.
Because you paid 2. Oh, okay.
Okay. Go on the knife.
Come on, Mr. Shen.
Prompt
Come on, Mr.
plus
Shen.
2. Woo! I mean, it's something.
Ooh.
Okay, so
Ooh.
it is installed. You have your new nervous system,
Oh no.
but Marcus, please choose. It doesn't work as well as advertised.
Oh,
Please choose one: unreliable, substandard, hardware decay, or damaging. So damaging. Sometimes it hurts like hell, and eventually will do permanent nerve damage. Hardware decay. It works
Sounds
now, but it's
appropriate.
just a matter of time. Substandard.
Yeah.
It works, but not as well as it should. Unreliable. Sometimes it doesn't work.
All right,
point out this is like half your nervous system now. It's replaced some of your nerves. None of these are good news for you.
Anytime you smell fish, it just turns off all of it.
It's going to be damaging and unreliable.
Only choose one.
Synthetic nerves. Oh, really?
One.
Yeah, just the one. Don't try and do yourself over too much.
Damaging.
I want
Damaging.
more.
Sometimes it hurts like hell, and eventually it will do permanent nerve damage. Okay. There is a bit of... It's either a piece of sashimi or a California roll floating around somewhere in your body. And every so often it's going to make your nerves short out. Okay. Good. I'm glad we got that sorted.
Good deal.
Good deal.
What's it?
So...
Thank you, Mr. Shens. I'll be back.
Thank you for installing my stolen cyberware.
So, Marcus, as you're sat on the sofa in Ellie's house because, like, piking her Wi-Fi, nicking her Wi-Fi, and every so often, Ellie, you notice that Marcus just like shudders and jolts every so often, like his eye twitches. But I can only
just goes whoop.
start spinning. I can only assume, Marcus, that as far as you're concerned, perfect job.
Excellent.
Okay,
Best job.
brilliant. So, in which case, you're all around Ellie's, and you are watching. Like, Josh has got the vid screen on. He's watching it. There is a deluge of, in all of the kind of the busyness and commotion, you haven't actually clocked that, like, in this new world, consumerism is so rampant that you don't at all feel guilty for completely missing the fact that Christmas happened a few days ago, and you are now staunchly in the middle of the Crimbo limbo. It's a few days until New Year.
What?
And Josh is currently watching some trashy, like the Crimbo limbo, like television schedule. He's just watching some garbage manufactured film about elves or something, but not like those elves, like the other elves, like the racist kind of elves, according to elves. And there's that idea that this is New Year, like it's New Year's Eve. And as you're kind of settling in and having your teas and bourbons, there is a knock on your door.
Ellie looks at the front door because nobody ever knocks. It's like, is it Bryce? Could you sort of float out there and check it's not cops or something?
I think they'd just kick it down, wouldn't they?
Probably, but I don't like this. Does she have a peephole?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to look through the peephole.
Okay.
Just a barrel.
Ready to leap aside at any second.
So, Ellie, are you looking through your little installed peephole?
Yeah.
I mean, do you have a peephole, or do you just have a camera and you can just see on a vid
I've probably
screen?
got a camera, haven't I? That's a good point. Yeah, I checked my camera.
Okay. As you kind of look to the other three and Josh, and Josh kind of looks up and looks up from the latest rerun of the Transformers film that's on the vid screen, and who's that? He says, wearing the like he's seemingly okay now with the really cruddy Christmas jumper that he was complaining about a little while ago. You turn on the vid screen connected to your front door, And
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
It's the gang. It's
Wow.
everyone. Holy, they're all just in my apartment building, just
In the corridor.
in the corridor.
the fishbowl lens distorts the faces of Meridius, the Asian dwarf rigger engineer, the Egyptian fixer Samara, and the hulking figure of the troll Cutthroat. And seemingly, Meridius knows that you're looking through the vid screen as he tilts his head and... We're a bit late for Christmas carols, but might we come in?
Ellie will
Who's
look
the
up-
cat?
Ellie looks up and he says, "It's the bloody underground." And she sort of,
Josh, get my gun!
You shout that.
Bear's rummaging around in the sofa cushions for his fire axe. Sure, I left it here somewhere. Where is it?
Ellie's making for the door and she just looks around and says, "Marcus, if you start a gunfight in my flat, I swear to God." And
They'll start it. They'll start it.
just behave yourself. And she opens the door.
Okay. As you open the door, you see these 4 faces that you have not seen in months and months and months and months. The last time you saw the 4 of these faces in one place was the day that the houses of Westminster were destroyed in a cataclysmic bombing, which since that day have been solely attributed to the man stood directly in front of you. And as you kind of all of you take in the sight of the 4 of them kind of stood, you see Cutthroat like sneering at one of your neighbours who's just sort of like kind of looking up at this troll. And, what do you want? And Mary raises his eyebrows and thank you for opening the door. May we come in?
Yeah, sure. And she sort of waves them in and sort of sticks her head out the door at the neighbour and says, don't worry, Mr. Jenkins. It's people from Price's church." And ushers them in.
Mr. Jenkins.
They go around.
Mr. Jenkins, the church, or they'll let anyone in nowadays, as your respective doors close. And everyone, Ellie, you appreciate in this moment just how cramped your bedsit is when there is a grand total of 8 Shadowrunners, one of which being a troll. And in, Cutthroat's 9-foot frame, he is visibly stooping his head so his horns don't scrape the paint off your or scratch even more paint off your peeling ceiling. And as you look across, there's that familiar withering stare from Samara, and despite the fact she's got 2 lens-like cyber eyes, you can almost feel them drilling holes into you. The same look she gave you when you were getting jobs at the job centre, as everyone affectionately referred to it back in the hub. And everyone has a stern or dour look upon their faces, apart from Engineer. And she kind of rushes in and Ellie! And she leaps, like both feet are off the ground for a moment before she collides with you and knocks you back into the sofa.
Aww.
And as she kind of hugs you, she kind of, as best as she can in her excited state, whispers, "I'm sorry I couldn't come sooner."
That's okay. It's fine. I get it. And Ellie kind of picks herself up off the sofa.
Meridius looks around the room and he just starts kind of like nodding to you all in turn. He there's you might even argue it's the closest you have ever seen Meridius to being sheepish, but it's clear he acknowledges that there is some suspicion from you towards him. I'm glad to see you're well. He opens, and he looks to the three of you. Did you enjoy? Have you been enjoying the festive holidays?
Yeah.
Yeah, Merry
Uncomfortable
Christmas to you
shrug.
too, Mary.
Thank you, Marcus, he says. And he sort of like, you see Mary kind of looking around as he takes off the like the black leather coat he's got on, and he's looking for somewhere to like drape it, and in the end he just drapes it over his forearm instead and just kind of holds it at his side.
Sorry, there's not much space. Times have been hard since we got cut off from the underground.
I'd offer you a cup of tea, but we've only got 4 cups. As I push the other cups.
Push him off the counter to break on the floor. Yes, well, it has been a difficult time for all of us. But I'm glad to see that you're still up to your old tricks. I wanted to re-congratulate you on a job well done with the Mardi Gras infiltration. If it wasn't at all obvious, that whilst that did serve some of my own purposes and ends, it also served as somewhat of an audition, an interview, to see if you were still worthy of the job I have in store for you. It's been nearly a year that we've been on the run, and frankly, I don't really want to run anymore. I trust you remember the organization known as Black Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're best friends.
Good. Well, since the destruction of Westminster, Black Phoenix have continued to operate within the shadows of London. And off the back of the information you helped me gather with the Mardi Gras mission, I feel we are now in a position to decisively strike at Black Phoenix, to deal them a crippling blow, to dismantle them, to return a small sense of safety to our city.
Bloody hell.
I've been in contact with other runners, but I've decided to offer you the job, if you are willing to take it. I should hasten to add, because I feel this may or may not influence your decision, but you, he says, like nodding to all of you, will be working with us. This will be a 2-team job.
Yeah, listen, Mary, that's all nice and all, but there was that thing. You remember that job you gave us? Like, small little job where we had to go to Parliament and Tower of London or whatever it was called. And you betrayed us, you bastard!
Okay, Marcus, calm down.
You're about this far away from it.
I can appreciate that it may have seemed like that, and I also appreciate it would be difficult for me to argue otherwise without it sounding like I'm simply arguing the case. However, we all took great lengths to establish Savander Singh as the mayor of London, and as well as the destruction of Westminster, his assassination was simply the tip of the iceberg, the top of the slope that Neo London now finds itself careening down. It is clear that despite their messaging, Blue Tree have no control over what is happening, and they are little more than puppets for the Black Phoenix organization. There was a time when the trust that we runners had in one another is what got us through. That's why the Underground was one of the most powerful institutions in Europe. I would simply ask that we try and re-establish that trust.
Why don't you
Alright.
tell us your plan?
Well, absolutely. Who amongst you would like to roll the get the job roll?
Ooh.
Marcus has been quite vocal so far.
Nah. Marcus doesn't want the job.
I guess I'm happy to in that I've just asked about the plan, but I'm probably not the best person to do it.
Do it. Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Okay.
As a group, can anyone link with you before you do it, or?
Yeah, I got +1 with everybody, so I don't know if it matters who. Probably not Marcus if he's being very distrustful.
I mean, I'm happy to.
Yeah.
You
go
know
for it,
what?
Ellie.
You know what? Yeah, who's making the roll?
Bear's
What,
making the roll.
Get the job roll. I'll make that. Yeah.
Sure. You roll that, Bear.
Oh,
Okay.
oh no. Oh no. Complication.
Yeah. I did say.
As
You got
you
+1.
as you kind of stomp forward and bark at Mary, there's a job. You notice like Samara, like she's not said anything since she arrived, and she just sort of like frowns slightly. And like you see her go to like retort to your brashness before Mary lifts her hand and no. As I say, I understand why they might feel a bit wary.
Hi. Wait.
First try.
First try.
Given the importance of this mission, it is not in my interest to withhold information or assets which you might find useful. And I hope this can be seen as the first of my tokens of sincerity. You may choose 3 from the list. The employer provides useful information in intel. I will provide you some useful gear. The job will pay well. This meeting will not attract attention. And I'm quite identifiable.
Yeah. There's
can have that
one I
for
guess
free.
we definitely don't need yet.
Yeah.
um,
Unless it's not Mary. It's somebody with a very advanced disguise, kids.
Mary's just a puppet.
Or Mary's just not actually the employer. That's the other
Yeah.
alternative. Yeah. I don't think it's that.
Should we go, turning to my team, should we go intel, gear, and doesn't attract attention?
That's
Sounds
what I
good.
was thinking.
I don't trust Mr. Jenkins across the hall.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Jenkins could be our undoing here. He's
Yeah, that's true. He was a bit
dropping
nosy,
a
wasn't
call. He's dropping a call to the NLPD right this moment.
he? We send Cutthroat round to deal with Mr. Jenkins.
Oh, he's great. The epic fight finale.
Okay. So Mary nods. You will be provided with gear and intel, which I've already dropped in your category, Bear.
Right.
So our target is the Blue Tree headquarters in Fitzrovia, the district between Marylebone and Holborn. I believe before the awakening, what is now the Blue Tree headquarters used to be the headquarters of one of Britain's largest telecommunications organizations. I believe it was called the BT Tower. Obviously,
that spins.
What Blue Tree headquarters is now dwarfs what it was in the before times during the Fifth World. But that is our target, and I acknowledge that the headquarters of Blue Tree is the closest thing to an impenetrable fortress that Neo London has. But this is why I have decided that you are the only ones capable of this job. As I mentioned, this is fundamentally a two-team job. We have, using the information I've gathered from Annabelle Clay's records that you provided for me, I have been able to trace a trail of money from Annabelle Clay to Blue Tree to Black Phoenix.
Ooh.
It is clear that the Blue Tree headquarters is being used for some sort of scheme by Black Phoenix. We have, and it worries me, given that Annabelle Clay seems her ties to Blue Tree are decidedly military import-export in flavour. Given that we know that Black Phoenix is a black market arms dealer organisation, you can start to see the dots joining up. This, whatever they're doing, seems to be drawing a lot of power, both physical, in terms of physical and magical. I assume you, Price, and perhaps yourself, Bear, will have noticed the conflux of energy, of mana that seems to be flowing. It's like mana is being redirected away from ley lines that they would normally travel across. It would seem that Blue Tree headquarters is one of the epicenters of this vortex. I believe that whatever it is they're doing is being conducted within secure underground laboratories beneath the tower. In the 3 weeks since we've spoken, Samara here has managed to infiltrate the headquarters as a staff member and has managed to plant herself into a position to get enough information to know that in the executive offices on the upper floors, only they have the ability to activate the security systems and unlock any prerequisite doors in the laboratories below. So we will be going to the executive offices and you will be going to the laboratories. There will be a multi-stage process. We need to get in, you need to get to your entrance. We will open the locks. You can then move through the laboratories. You then need to request access to the high security vaults, which we can then grant from the executive offices. Once you're in the high security vaults, we need you to find out whatever it is they're doing there, and then once you know and you have transferred the data, destroy it, burn it. No one should have it. The job itself is simple. The circumstances around it are not. High security responses will be almost immediate, which is why the most wanted man in London is going to be on the top floors.
So you're like a distraction.
Yes. We will. Samara and I will be in the tower. Engineer and Cutthroat will be covering fire. Cutthroat with his sniper rifle, Engineer with her drones. and we will buy you as much time as we can. But even with our experience, multiple MaxSec teams will only need a matter of time before they overrun us. We can buy you time, but we can't buy you that much. But we'll do what we can. I would humbly request your urgency when moving through the laboratories. How does this sound?
Team huddle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shall we stand outside?
You stay here, we'll go in the bedroom.
Okay. Very good.
So we just shuffle into the next room, the other room.
As you go, you hear Ingenia kind of say, like, you suspect she's talking to Josh, and I love this movie, she says. You hear her sit down. The couch squeaks as she sits down.
I leave Josh to entertain them.
Sure.
Do you want me to put a little wall around the area to give us...
Go on.
I think we just talk loud enough for them to hear us outside.
Yeah.
What a load of rubbish.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Do you want me to or not? Should we just do it as if we're
I
shouting?
think, I think there's too much magic sloshing about. You'll probably kill us all without meaning to.
Right, fine. Yeah. We just talk through the wall.
Right. Well, I think we can lower our voices slightly. Well,
Marcus?
Billy and Price can. Marcus and Bear probably won't.
Okay. So
So-
yeah, what are you thinking?
Thoughts, team?
Sounds pretty vague to me. I mean, this data we're supposed to be getting, we don't even know what it is.
We could ask. It's fair enough. We need to know what we're looking for, don't we?
Yeah. Particularly if we got to get in and out quick. We can't be going through all their filing systems.
Yeah. Good point.
Hey, listen, I don't trust that son of a bitch one bit.
Right. Does that mean you don't want us to do it, or?
Hey, listen, he betrayed us once. Who's saying he doesn't do it again?
I mean, did he betray us? I know he disappeared off when things got hot, but I mean,
He's certainly used us multiple times, hasn't he, for his own ends?
Don't trust them, let's not do it.
black and white, nice and simple.
I mean, I previously I had a good relationship with these people, and so if it means that it gets the network back up and running, I'm willing to give it a try. And if it means that, in fact, I'd like to know from them if Black Phoenix are involved in this, because that's one of my sort of like things I'm trying to hunt down information on. So if they're involved in this with Blue Tree, then I'm willing to give it a go.
I think we need to know why they disappeared off for so long. It's been almost a year.
They probably had the government chasing them because they got framed for blowing up the Houses of Parliament.
True.
Your
the question is...
Your mind's cast back to that fateful day as you stood on Parliament Green, at Westminster Green, and watching the smouldering flames of what used to be the Houses of Westminster, the halls of Westminster, on every screen, on every vidlink, comlink, building side advertising boards. Meridius's face appeared to seemingly mock London for their sheep mentality, and it seems to be a rising call for the underground to rise up and take back London. And you know that in the immediate aftermath of that moment, you knew that the underground had all been wiped out. A lot of them were in the tunnels beneath Westminster when the bombs went off. And yes, Mary was lost to Meridius was lost to the wind. But this threatened uprising, could never really have happened because Everyone that you knew was dead.
Mm.
You only managed to get out by the skin of your teeth with the aid of some independent runners led by Red, who sorted you out with your first job when you got back together.
Yeah. In Ellie's mind, I think she's going to tell the others that her big concern is, do we want to throw our lot back in with the most wanted man in London? Is that potentially going to bite us? Or does the expertise and contacts that they wield, actually, could that be a really good thing for us? A bit of a double-edged sword.
Why are we doing this? Why work for them? We don't need this, right?
I don't know. I mean, we've been doing all right on our own, but you were... I don't know. I just feel like...
the last job was from them.
Yeah. It's true.
I mean, so you do know that. So Mary has said that your target is Blue Tree headquarters, and that seems to be, in inverted commas, like the head. It seems to be the lair of Black Phoenix, if nothing else. That's what he seems to be insinuating. And Ellie, if nothing else, you know that the Man of Whispers has ties with Black Phoenix, and the Man of Whispers is on the run, like is in the open.
Okay.
Price, you don't know if it's related, but Price and Bear, really, it may not be related, but you've never seen magical turbulence like this in ever. Whatever is happening, like something bad is happening.
All right, should we go out and ask him?
All right.
As you step back into the room, the four faces turn. Well, three faces turn to look to you. Ingenia carries on watching the vid screen with Josh.
Hey, Mary, listen.
Yes.
Why should we do this? What's in it for us?
I know that you have had multiple run-ins with Black Phoenix already. Frankly, I'm surprised they haven't already retaliated against your efforts against them, because whether you realize it or not, you've been hampering their plans for quite some time. As I understand it, you were chaperoning an ex-Shadowrunner during the Blue Tree riots. He had information stored within a secure device in his brain. The buyers for that information were Black Phoenix. I understand that you became embroiled in a conflict with a certain Dr. Lucas Hysender. He appears to be experimenting on poor innocent individuals who had no other way of saving themselves. We believe that the HMHVV strains of viruses that he was working with were being manufactured for Black Phoenix. The arms dealer, Balagnachov, was skimming some of his supplies off to the Black Arms market dealers, Black Phoenix. Annabelle Clay works realistically for Black Phoenix. Almost everything you have done has interfered with them in one way or the other. If nothing else, consider this as an opportunity to strike out against them before they strike out against you. Because Black Phoenix will not stop until they have achieved their goals, and you are little more than a memory.
All right, so let's get them before they get us.
Yes. In the process, if you hold any weight in morality, you would arguably be doing the city of Neo London a great service.
Yeah, listen, that's not my interest, but
So how's deleting this data gonna cripple Black Phoenix?
Truthfully, we don't exactly know. Samara and I have not been able to ascertain exactly what it is they're doing down there. But all that we do know is that whatever it is has an incredible amount of their attention. They are funneling a lot of resources into this. So whatever it is, to deprive them of it would be an immense setback. If we can find this data, that might give us the final foothold to finally break apart the organization. And in doing so, if we can destroy their research, we will have set them back seemingly years, perhaps decades. Whatever is happening in those laboratories beneath the Blue Tree headquarters is extremely important to them, and it would be a shame to break it. I'm sure you've heard of the phrase, a bull in a china shop. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing a bear in a laboratory.
a bear. This one?
Yes.
That
Marcus. That's
this one.
Yes.
All right.
I mean, it's true enough. I've got no love for those cyber vampires, and if you're giving me a chance to give them a bloody nose, then great. But I'm not doing this for you, nor the bloody underground neither.
I appreciate that, and I
Good.
thank you for considering this regardless.
And if this crazy scheme of yours gets these lot killed, the last thing I do will be to find you. Understand?
I will do as much as I can to prevent that as you. I promise you that, Bear.
Good. Right. No further questions then.
He looks to Ellie and Price, just in case.
No, for old time's sake, I'm willing to give this a go.
Yeah, I mean, you disappear off for a year, and the first thing you do when you come back is a little softball party mission, and then straight to Black Phoenix. Why not?
Well, I've always been one for theatrics, if nothing else, so.
Go on then. What is this data? What are we actually looking for?
As I say, Samara and I have been unable to figure out exactly what it is that they're doing down there, but...
How am I going to know when I've found the important bit?
Truthfully, I think you just will.
Oh.
When you're able to see behind the doors that we have yet to crack, it will become abundantly clear what they're trying to do. My fear stems from the fusion of whatever is the fusion of technology and magic. We know that the operatives within Black Phoenix are highly cyberware enhanced creatures that have this bizarre mockery of vampirism. We know that Lucas Hysender was working with the vampiric HMHVV virus, which intrinsically does not cohabitate well with cybernetics. To look at all of these threads and begin to tie them into a central point, the possibilities of why they're doing this terrify me. So, I truly believe when you see it, you will know you found it.
Then you want us to take it, just destroy it all? Like, do we want to hold the only copy?
We need to understand what it is they're doing, and if need be, if there are any additional cells with which they are operating in. Their operation is vast. Whilst the headquarters is likely their main point of organization, I can't help but suspect that, much like myself, there would be a number of splinter cells spread throughout London. We need to know where they are, and we need to just crush them. Or we need to find out where to strike after to bring the whole tower crumbling down.
Okay.
So in order to do that, though, we need to get out alive, don't we? And it doesn't seem like that part of the plan hasn't really been thought through.
As I say, we will be providing you as much as a distraction as we can. I appreciate that you will be under the streets of near London. If you want to, I will leave the specifics of how you enter and how you escape. Realistically, depending on how efficient you are with time and how efficient we are at distraction, you may or may not find that walking back out the front door is not an option for you. But I believe in your flair for the dramatic when it comes to an escape plan. I must admit, I was quite impressed with Calais. Entertaining, to say the least.
We're watching?
He looks to you with a knowing smirk.
Do you know anything about what became of the Man of Whispers?
Samara here has been tracking her as best she can. But since escaping confinement in Calais, we've been unable to track the Man of Whispers, the AI, down. Knowing that a rogue AI is in cahoots with Black Phoenix adds another layer of concern. As I say, when we draw all these threads to a central point, the possibilities of why all of these pieces are in play is horrifying.
Yeah.
Cybernetics, magic, AI.
Oh boy. Okay, that's what I was afraid of. I just didn't want him to be involved, but he's bound to be somewhere, isn't he?
Yes.
So when's this going down then?
For better or worse, the folks of London do still very much enjoy a New Year's Eve celebration. And what better time to catch somewhere unawares than on New Year's Eve?
Though, use the fireworks as cover kind of thing.
And the chantings of Auld Lang Syne.
Yeah. Don't know the words anyway.
No one does.
No one does.
The troll. So, I stand before you, willing to place all of my faith in you. How much faith would you place in me? Please state how much you would like to stake on this job.
Oh no. Oh no.
One cred.
Is it time to go home, people? Last opportunity to stake of the campaign.
Yeah. It's definitely a 1 for Bear. He doesn't trust Meridius as far as he can throw him. But
I think Ellie's got a little bit more faith in the competence of the team. They were always very, very good, even though they've been off the grid for a while.
Yeah, I'm not worried about them being bad. I'm just worried about them having an ulterior motive somehow. Or
I don't know. I don't.
I'm going for 2 if it gives me some info on Black Phoenix and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. Bet 3, Julia.
I think I'm going to bet 3. Yeah.
Yes. Do it.
Doesn't that move the clock?
Will it all
It
definitely
does, yeah.
Are you... So, are these your final numbers?
Yes.
yeah,
2.
So, how many for Anton, for Marcus, sorry?
1.
Okay, so 1, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
As you kind of make your stakes, Meridius looks to you, Ellie, and he just kind of gives you a wordless nod of thanks. Samara, I'm sure you can redisperse Ellie's wealth to make sure it doesn't draw any undue attention. And Samara, I'll see what I can do, she says. And for this mission, Ellie's stake of 3 will not raise a clock.
Woo!
because
First
too
and
many
only
other things
time.
will.
Oh,
Yeah.
the faithful.
Yeah, true. Giving us an easy start on purpose,
Yeah.
aren't you?
Mhm.
So, Mary reiterates, you know what the general structure of the plan is. So his team will be upstairs, your team will be downstairs. You need his team to let you in through the front door, in effect, into the laboratories. You need to ping them for you need to request access from them to get into the high security vaults.
Mhm.
You need to find whatever's in there, and then you need to get out.
Destroy it and get out.
Destroy and get out. The specifics of how you're getting in the building, because that is not something that they've obviously managed to secure their own access to the building, but getting to the laboratory front door yourselves is still up in the air. So you'll need to figure that out.
Okay.
Number 1, get in. Okay.
So,
Yep.
1, how are you getting in? How are you getting to the basements of the most secure building in London? And then how are you getting out? Arguably, everything in between is almost sort of planned out.
Right. Okay.
So,
Are we doing this now?
who
Yep.
would like to start the legwork?
Please.
Yes.
Okay. In which case, let's grab a 10-minute break.
Hey.
Whew.
Okay.
Dang.
See you in
Nice.
10.
See you in 10. So good of you to finally join us. We have a job for you, and I was surprised to see that your file shows you might even be up to the task. The mission is simple. I need you to take that sweaty finger of yours and tap on the subscribe button. You'll get extra credits if you tap the like button and the bell icon too.
Are you making a job reading video, Samara?
Go away, engineer.
Can I
I'm
see
busy.
it? Oh, but please. I
No,
always
go,
wanted to be
go.
one of these.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Hello. So, this is it. The final.
It's the final countdown.
The final countdown.
You said it.
So what we find ourselves in the legwork clock. You have your job laid out in front of you. Off the back of the meeting with Samara arranges some gear and intel to be delivered to you at a time and location of your choosing. But what are we doing first? So tell you what, let's start with price. What given, so obviously again you know the outline of the job, but none
Yes.
of the specifics have been really kind of spelt out pertaining to sort of like getting in, getting out, and anything you think you'll need when you're inside. Obviously, you've been advised that there's a lot of tech, there's a lot of magic by the sounds of it. There just seems to be a lot of magic being drawn to like Fitzrovia, which it doesn't normally do. So what are you thinking first?
I was thinking of exit and entry strategies, potentially to get in, creating some sort of flash mob, like because of one of our previous missions, there's already like a community of people who want to protest Blue Tree, and using them on New Year's Eve as a big distraction outside for us to sneak in, potentially as Blue Tree security if we can get some uniform.
Yeah.
And as far as getting out, because we're going to be underground, I've always wanted to blow a hole in the bottom of a building and escape through an underground tunnel.
Yeah. I was thinking the same, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
Okay. So, just as an aside, do you start with an Arcana?
I start with an Arcana, but you can keep it because I'm going to spend a cred and try and bind an elemental to me. Okay. And I really want to ask the group's opinion: do we want a water elemental so we can potentially travel through the fire extinguish system to bypass stuff, or
those sprinklers?
Air one? Yeah, through the sprinkler system, or an earth one to potentially get through ground areas because it can move the group through its known element.
Earth.
Or an air. I was thinking air, but then if we're underground, that's more if we're on the top. That's more for Nakatomi Plaza style. But so we're going to be underground, so I was thinking more or water. What do you reckon?
I like Earth.
Earth. I think Earth.
Okay, so
we had an Earth elemental before.
No, we did a water one for the channel tunnel just in case we caused a catastrophic breach.
You were planning for that?
Someone was.
Yes, I was planning for that just in case. I didn't trust what you two would be up to, particularly Bear and Marcus. Explosives. I had this image of a tsunami of the channel of the
God, can you imagine?
coming through the tunnel, and I was like, no. So I was just holding that in my back pocket for most of that mission. Okay, so an Earth Elemental then.
Okay, Earth Elemental. In which case, I
roll a Bind Elemental.
You roll me a Bind Elemental.
Oh no!
Oh no! Okay.
Fourth choice.
You gain 1 Bind Elemental hold.
It's a small man.
And I will make a move. Okay, where is it you're doing the summoning? Like the binding?
It'll be at the church. Yeah, at me lodge.
The church. Okay. In which case, as you
or church,
like you what kind of materials do you use to cast your spell? Like, are we talking like spell books and scrolls and like candles and like are we?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
In which case, as you kind of stand in front of the summoning circle, inscribed with like runes of terror and whatnot, terror with an A, and you sprinkle the dirt that you've gathered from outside on the ground to act as a focus to start kind of drawing in. As you summon this elemental, there's a point of no return when it dawns on you that too much is funneling into this summoning. And as this elemental rises up in front of you, you realize it's too big, it's too powerful, and you realize that it is not under your control. And as it, in the middle of the church, as its shadow dwarfs over you, it lets out like a roar as it swings its like big kind of boulder fists and starts kind of smashing some of the starts smashing up the church common room that you're in, and you realize that you're going to have to force this thing into submission.
Oh no.
because it appears to be attempting to attack you. What do you do?
Uh-oh.
Run away? No, okay, we will. Do we have to try and bind it again, or do we?
Let's keep trying to bind it and have a bit more of the church smashed up every time you fail.
Yeah, that sounds like a thing. Yeah.
You trying
Why
to bind it again?
Wow, the arranging committee has been massacred.
The power of Christ compels you.
I mean, you can, like, you have astral sight, don't you?
Yes.
So yeah, as this thing's growing, you notice that its astral form is more powerful than it has any right to, and it seems to be that this huge insurge of magic that's coursing through London seems to have kind of emboldened it. So you can either astrally combat it. It's got a physical form, given it's an earth elemental, so you could physically attack it, if you will.
Let's astro combat it.
Yeah, you feel like if you try to bind it in its current state, it will tear through too much space before. Okay, so as you, how does this look as you begin your astral combat?
Probably leaving my body in some sort of like angelic, holy sort of like rising out of myself. I will yeah, and then it's just something I could grab to use as a weapon as I charge forward towards it. What would be
A
around
candlestick or something.
A giant candlestick.
Giant candlestick.
There must be something I could grab off of a nearby statue or something.
Incense holder. Like you can swing it.
like a flail thing, like a giant incense.
Okay. So, as this sort of like translucent, I'm imagining like a translucent golden like version of yourself kind of emerges into astral space, where like time and space don't really exist and everything moves at the speed of thought. You see this hulking behemoth of an elemental kind of looming over you. The world suddenly seems inverted. It's like blacks and whites, where everything is see-through except things made of glass. So you find yourself just in a world of floating opaque panes for all the windows that span across the width and length of Neo-London. And in this moment, there's the two of you in this small cluster of like space and windows. And as this elemental pulls its arm back to take a swing, please roll me an astral combat. Okay.
Not doing well this week.
No. So, as the creature takes a swing at you, it collides with you for, we'll say,
mission.
So how powerful is it? Have an armor equal to your... So what is your magic?
+2, so it's got, what, 3 and 3 it does?
So 3 and 3. It does 4 harm to you because it's out of control.
God.
So...
He's kidding me.
As you fly towards this thing, it clubs you for 4 damage. Do you have anything in the way of like magical armor?
I've got no idea. I don't think so. I don't know there is such a thing as magical armor.
Okay. In which case, as you've like hurtled towards this creature, you're caught by this. It feels like the entirety of an avalanche in one stony fist. Please roll me a harm move as you're clubbed.
Low is good.
Low is good. Damage.
Ooh.
Oh,
yeah,
my
good.
God.
Okay, so Yeah, you realise that this thing has like damaged you more than your spell suggests it would. You realise it's the swelling of magic within it that seemingly supercharged it. But as you go kind of reeling back, you collide with a number of the opaque like windows that float in astral space, and as you kind of right yourself, you realise it seems to be sort of like looking around, and it looks like it's about to make its escape. What do you do? Like
Maybe let it escape.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a good thing to let it run around town.
Too late now. You're gonna fight it again?
I know, but it's going to probably mess me up, isn't it?
Yeah, you're gonna be dead.
Gonna mess me up big time. Yeah, we'll let this one go.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
In which case, you watch as the figure sort of like looks like this elemental looks around, and it's seemingly just kind of swelling more and more and more, and you notice its attentions turn to what appears, it almost looks like from where you are, that all these kind of streams of magic are all converging in a point. You assume, like from like, there's no real kind of north, south, east, west in astral space. Everything's kind of contextless, but you suspect that this is like the maelstrom, and it's almost like everything is converging, like being sucked into a black hole. And you watch as this elemental, fundamentally like King Kong gorilla, jumps in the direction of this vortex, and you see a number of the opaque windows just kind of evaporate as this thing kind of moves through astral space towards this vortex until it disappears. Obviously, everything moves at the speed of thought. It touches this vortex and it disapparates into mana, like a moth flying into a roaring flame.
Oh.
And as you return back to your physical body, and you nothing is nothing's physically broken, but it feels like your ribs are
Your
shattered.
soul is broken.
Your soul is bruised.
God.
And you sit up and notice that from where you are, there is a trail of destruction through the church, through a hole in the front.
No.
And you hear the sounds of car alarms outside, and as you peer out, you can see that this... Not your car, no.
Don't do that as well to me, Dad.
It's clear that this elemental in meat space has just torn its way through the neighborhood.
Jeez.
Oh, the insurance won't cover this, will it?
This is just the legwork.
Should we just leave Price there and come back to Price?
I think we'll come back to Price.
Give
Yeah.
me a minute.
Yeah. So, Price, as you try to catch your breath, unfortunately, with this trail of destruction,
Oh,
I
come on.
am going to have to,
Yes.
at the very least, put up the legwork
Yes.
clock.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Fair, fine. Then.
It'd
As
be a bit weird if it didn't.
news reports of a rampaging earth elemental tearing its way through London.
Out of Price's church and into near London.
That's
Yes.
what I'm worried about. It's like a giant arrow. Where did it come from? Oh, look, the destruction stopped there.
Okay, so Bear, you see this news article of a what is effectively like a stone giant, just like you see on a vid screen, and like Josh is like, "Oh, look how cool this is!" As this thing goes barreling through, and just like there's a picture of one of the like red London buses just torn in half, as this thing's kind of collided with the side of it, and as you kind of think, "Oh, that's weird," what do you do?
Well, would Price have told us what he was planning to go and do?
I don't know. Would Price have told everyone?
No.
Okay, right, fine.
So you chalk this up to this weird and wonderful magic stuff that's happening in London.
Oh, that
Yeah.
happened near Price's Church.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess he wouldn't do anything about that then. So he. Bear does not have many useful contacts for this kind of a job of this scope, but the only his go-to is to seek out Ferret, his shady, the guy who was trying to rob him while he was laying in the skip with his memory gone.
Yeah.
And since then, Bear has been kind of shaking him down for favours in return for not killing him. And I think he's sort of sensing that, yeah, things are coming to a head and whatever's going to happen is going to be decisive one way or another.
Yeah.
He's going to sort of ask Ferret for help getting into Blue Tree, the hope that he might steal some ID badges or uniforms or whatever. And in return, because it's a big job and it's well outside of Ferret's normal capacity, normally he nicks like TVs and stuff. In return for doing it, Bear's going to sort of let him off the hook and not bother him again. That's what he'll offer.
So, like IDs and the sort from. Okay.
Yeah.
In which case, yeah, as you. Whereabouts in London do you find dear old Ferret?
I think he often hangs around a CD pawnbroker's shop.
Okay.
Which is basically just a front for his like stolen, moving stolen merc through it.
Sure. In which case, yeah, we catch up with you as Ferret like leaves for the night. And like as he's sort of like whistling to himself as he steps out the front door and sort of like turns around to start bringing the shutters down, and it's when he turns and finds you, just the mass of you just in like behind him. And he, hello, Bear. How are you doing?
Hello, Ferret.
How long have you been there?
Not that long.
Good. Well, I don't know if that makes me feel better or worse. What can I do for you? And he sort of like smiles to you, and like he is the same greasy, pungent little man that he's always been. It's in this moment that you truly appreciate how appropriate the name Ferret is for him, because he's stanky. But the one thing you notice difference about him this time is that as he grins at you, he's got one gold tooth. Like one of his front teeth has been replaced with a gold tooth. And as you notice it long enough to realize that it's, judging by the crookedness of it, you suspect that is not his tooth, and it was not implanted by a registered dentist.
Well, Ferret, how do you like to never see my face again?
Oh, I mean, dude, it'd be a damn shame, wouldn't it, Bear? I mean, yeah, we've forged such a relationship, but yeah, go on, tell me more.
Some friends and I need to get into that big old Blue Tree building. You know the one I mean?
What? The big one?
The big one. Yeah.
In central London.
Yep.
Why?
You don't need to worry about that, Ferret.
Right. Okay.
Your job is to do what you do and get your greasy paws on some stuff that's going to help us do it. You do that, and I leave, and we're even. I forget about you trying to rob me.
Is this like the last time we were even, and then you decided that we weren't even anymore, and you threatened me with grotesque amounts of violence?
No, it's not like that this time. We'll really be even.
As he looks at you dubiously, it's a mix of dubiousness and hope. Please roll me a hit the street.
Okay.
Ferret presses X to doubt.
7. Okay. He looks to you and right. You're gonna get what you want, but please choose 2 poisons from the list. Your request is going to cost you extra. It's going to take some time. It's going to attract unwanted attention. Your contact needs help with something. So you've already intimidated him out of something you didn't do for him before.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's true. Okay. So I'm happy for it to, because I wasn't offering to pay in the first place, so I'm happy to pay a little bit as well.
sure.
I've got 4 cred left.
Go from the richest to the poorest.
Yeah. I think I would have probably been warned by one of the others that we need to not attract attention. So we've got a few days, haven't we, until New Year's Eve?
Yes. Yeah. Like 3 days.
So potentially I could tell him that and say, look, it doesn't have to be now, you've got a few days. But this is the deadline.
Okay.
Would that qualify as taking some extra time?
He's sort of like, I mean, I reckon it could be done, but like, if I could have longer, that'd be grand.
Well, you can't. So,
I mean, if what? So I've got a few days, right? So I guess like I can do the best that I can in the time that I'm given. You know, so it's like that triangle, isn't it, Bear? Where you've got like good and like cheap and quick, and you can only have 2 of them, right?
yeah.
So if you want it quick, wait. If you want it quick, then if you want it quick, then it can either be good or it can be expensive.
Fair. Am I going to care about what you're about to say?
I don't think you are, mate.
No. Right. So what's the bottom line here then?
Right. I'm gonna need, if you need me to get into that blue tree place, I'm gonna need, I'm gonna need like some money for like, I don't know, like a haircut or something, and maybe like a uniform, maybe 2 uniforms. Actually, also, I haven't done my weekly shops. So I'm gonna need some money for that, because I can't do a job on an empty stomach, you know. Just basic stuff. Also, I might need to treat myself to some transport. I'll just get like a second-hand bag or something. And also, I need to pay someone to forge me a permanent address. Call it 1 cred.
All of that.
Yeah, Bear was definitely bracing himself for worse, so he's going to take a deep sigh and fine. But they better get us in.
Yeah.
Alright, you got 3 days. Crack on. I'll just toss over a cred stick or whatever there.
And he lunges very enthusiastically for this cred stick, and he's like, oh, and then you watch it as it just disappears down his trousers, presumably into the pants, where Ferret keeps all his important things. And I'm like, well, I will see you within 3 days, and then, unfortunately, I will never see you again. Right.
Yeah, try not to sound too sad about it.
Claps you. He goes to clap you on the back, and like as he raises his hand and then sees you looking at him, and then thinks more, like decides against physically touching you, like physically attacking you, and then he right, well, I'll best be off then. And he takes a few steps, stops, and turns to you and, do you know where the nearest Armani store is?
Bear will just ignore that and just carry on walking.
I'll figure it out, mate. I'll figure it out. Don't you worry. And he sort of like whistles to himself, just swinging. He doesn't even bother shutting the shutters on his shop. On the pawnbrokers, he just starts like spinning a set of keys around his fingers. He like Leonardo DiCaprio walks down the street, presumably richer than he's been in a very long time, armed with this one cred.
A cred.
Oh, I am almost going to miss Ferret.
Okay, so you're getting like ID badges and the like.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Is there anything else you're doing?
No, not unless Price is going to rejoin us all. But if he's not, then I will just head back to Ellie's flat and wait for the rest of the team.
Sure. Well, moving on to let's move on to Ellie next.
Yeah, I think my contribution to the legwork is going to be, I'm thinking about the fact that this place is going to be quite high, probably quite high cyber security, and she's got to destroy all of the data at the end. Like, it's going to be quite a big job. So I guess she's planning kind of what programs she's going to be running on her deck, and it occurs to her that it might be handy to have something that some kind of one-off virus or program that's going to essentially destroy the data banks in this Black Phoenix facility. So some kind of
program.
Data eating, yeah, exactly. But a bear program. I need a little virus that looks like Bear swinging his axe around in the Matrix, just destroying all
Like
of
Wreck-It Ralph,
data.
but a bear.
Yeah, it's a Wreck-It Bear, exactly.
Godzilla with a bear head, like a bear pelt head.
I suspect I am unfortunately going to have to call on Ezekiel for this one.
Okay, so
much as it pains me, I have to go back to my old mentor.
Oh, the creepy kid.
Yeah.
So, you reach out into the Matrix and kind of leave messages in all the drop points that you would leave them in to get Ezekiel's attention. And before, it takes about half a day for you to get a response.
Right.
When you get what is effectively like an email that says, "Congratulations, you've just won 4 cred." And as you roll your eyes and sort of like open it up and click on the secret like attachment link type thing that opens up the direct connection to like your Matrix space, you appear in what appears to be a sauna in a bathhouse.
Okay. I immediately make my avatar fully clothed.
Okay. You
ski suit.
As you tut, because as your avatar starts compiling, you can see like bits of, and you absolutely not.
I mean, the really funny thing is, I'm a cat in the Matrix. So was it wearing a little bikini?
So you were being compiled as a true anime cat girl of your avatar.
Not.
And as you you rewrite the code and you like appear as your kind of thin, spindly, big-headed, kind of black cat, just swaddled in like alpine skiing clothes.
Exactly.
It's got 2 cute little ski sticks.
Yeah. And yeah, in front of you, is like sat in the sauna opposite you is what appears to be a minotaur in a towel.
Hello, Dwayne.
Ellie, what have I told you about using our meat space names in the real world?
I'm sorry, Ezekiel.
Thank you.
Thanks for meeting.
That's absolutely fine. Oh, there appears to be a bit of a bug in my graphics processing. It just seems to have loaded in the wrong avatar for you. But never mind. I'll fix it for next time. Yeah, what can I do for you?
Right. So, you know how we used to like practice doing runs into systems and like, you know, finding the data we wanted, downloading, destroying what was left, all that stuff.
Yes.
You used to talk about programs that could do that on a bigger scale, right?
I mean, yeah, they're not very subtle though, and it's quite easy to figure out who dropped it.
I mean, how? How do they figure that out? Is there a way to make it untraceable?
I mean, possibly. I suppose it's the difference between, like, you know, when you're like at a wedding and then you like try to like discreetly let one rip, and it's the difference between a silent but violent or a real like cheek clapper. Yeah, I reckon with the right amount of control and technique, I reckon we can make that cheek clapper a bit more discreet.
You got invited to a wedding?
Well,
never mind. Tell me more about making it more discreet.
Well, I mean, okay. Listen here. I need you to roll me a hit the street.
Said Ezekiel. Give me
Here are 2d6. I need you to roll them for me.
Yeah, sure. I'll roll 2d6.
Hey,
An 11.
Okay.
Ooh, extra nice.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks about it for a moment, and then, like, you see this Minotaur study you. And, like, it's at this moment that you truly appreciate just how high def this Minotaur's bulging biceps are. Like, you can see the veins rippling across its pecs. Wow. And you know that was a very stylistic choice by Ezekiel.
That's impressive, because Minotaurs have, like, fur covering, don't they?
Not this one.
Shaved Minotaur.
Not this one.
Shit.
A wax chest Minotaur.
I feel a bit sick.
And he... If nothing else, I am intrigued to find out what you might need something like this for. So I'm willing to do a little bit of pro bono work for you, if nothing else, just to see this theory in action. So perhaps I have got a little something that I can slip you. I've been tinkering, I've been working on it. It has taken me a while to put together, so I am going to require some recompensation for it. But yeah, I'll give you the details for you to wire me. Let's call it 2 creds.
Sure.
But I can guarantee that this thing is thorough.
Thorough.
Yeah, everything I do, Ellie, Witch's Cat, is thorough. So I'll give you this. I call it the Bleach Armageddon.
Right.
Because imagine an Armageddon, but everything's bleach. It's gone. Nothing.
Right. Yeah, got it. Cool.
The hot bleach Armageddon program. Now, you whack this bad boy. Now, it is quite girthy in file size, so it's going to take up 2 of the slots on your cyber deck. But this is going to make the finale of the Second World War look like one of those party poppers. It's going to be fucking divine. And I cannot wait to watch the fireworks from this one. Cool. Also, I'll chuck you something else in, either Intel Gear or Arcana.
What do we think, people?
Intel.
Check an Intel for Ellie. That makes sense, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll take the Intel.
Marvelous. Yeah, that's a little something that I've picked up snooping around. It's been weirdly quiet, isn't it? And that means that something big's happening.
I mean, no, maybe that big thing is what I'm going to do now. I don't know.
Maybe. And that is why I am more than happy to deliver unto you the hot bleach Armageddon.
Please stop saying the name. That's all I ask.
Nothing like the good old HBA.
HBA, that's a bit easier. Yeah, okay.
Stands for hot bleach Armageddon.
Yeah, okay.
Right. Is there anything else I can help you with, my dear? Perhaps a little, maybe a cheeky bit of recreational programming?
Absolutely not. Listen,
Okay.
what about the Man of Whispers? What have you heard?
Well, I might have heard something. It might even be something that you want to spend intel on.
Do I want to spend my intel straight away?
Nah.
I'm.
Reveal knowledge when you reveal your knowledge of oppositions, preparations, dispositions, or environment.
Do I have to roll that?
No.
To use my intel.
You spend intel, you reveal the knowledge, and you can take +1 to exploit the opportunity offered by them.
Quite like that idea. I am worried.
Yeah,
I am worried the Man of Whispers is going to turn up.
You get a +1. That's good.
Yeah. I say okay. I'm gonna use my intel immediately, and I'm gonna ask him for his bit of info.
So, from what I gather, like the Man of Whispers was seen, he was flitting all over Europe. It was real bizarre. He got out of France pretty quick. He loitered in Germany for a while, but then it seems like it's come back to London. Now, something that kooky, something that chaotic. The fact that it's been quiet. This is what I mean. It's like something big's about to happen, and I know it's in London. On the old HBA, I'll chuck in a little something on that just to give you a bit of a one-up in case you accidentally come across a rogue AI. How's that sound?
That would be brilliant. Thanks, Ezekiel. Genuinely.
That's all right. I mean, it'd be a shame if you died in that.
I mean, I think so too.
Yeah.
So glad that you care. Thanks.
Yeah, all right. And is that all? I've got to
That's it. Thanks.
Cool.
Cheers.
I've got another private call on the other channel. So
yeah, I'm gonna get out of your hair and leave you.
Yeah, you better.
He hasn't got any hair.
Yeah, the things I'm about to do are obscene, illegal in some countries. Right, I'll see you later.
Just take my hot bleach and get out of here.
Oh yeah.
And it's so bad you have to heat the bleach up as well to make sure it cools.
And like this Minotaur,
99% won't do it. I need heat as well.
So this Minotaur holds its like 3-fingered hand out, and what looks like a stereotypical round bomb with a fuse and like a radiation, like a nuclear radiation logo, like the yellow one, like on its front, it like offers it, and the bomb like transfers over to you, and like shrinks and disappears into one of the pockets on your ski coat.
Can I send the 2 cred back in exchange?
Yes. Yeah, and in actual fact, the bomb gets halfway, and then like a World of Warcraft style trade window opens, and then you've got to put in your 2 cred, and then you accept, and then
Yeah.
Cool. Marvelous. So you have the HBA program.
I have the HBA.
The hot bleach. In the like the readme.txt file that's included within it, it's the instructions are open file, press go, ? Profit. And that's it. That's all the instructions are.
Bro, that's wonderful.
Okay. In which case, last but not least, Marcus, what are you doing on this legwork?
Marcus will have a chat with Kat when she comes. In her apartment, I guess.
Mhm.
Hey, Kat, listen. I was talking
Yeah?
price.
Huh?
He had an idea. Listen, we're gonna need Glaive Dave. Rave Dave. That's the name. Rave Dave. We're gonna need Rave Dave.
Wasn't he the gangbanger that we met ages
Yeah.
back?
Yeah.
Why
Listen,
do you
there's
need
gonna be-
Dave?
Because there's gonna be a party at Blue Tree headquarters on New Year's Eve. Everybody's gotta be there, and Rave Dave is DJing.
Right.
I've seen
okay.
the ads on the cyber thing. He does it.
Right. Do you need me to help you find him, or?
Listen, what we need to do is mass media advertising. This has got to be the event of the year. I want 1,000 people in front of that Blue Tree headquarters. All right, it's gonna be chaos. There's a free giveaway. They're giving away the new that console Josh wants. It's gonna be there. That's when they're launching it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, 1,000
Right.
people, and that's when we slip in.
So basically, you want me to run a multi-platform social media campaign that brings at least 1,000 people to the front of
Yes.
Blue Tree headquarters in a couple of days' time.
Exactly. All right, I'm off.
Featuring Rave Dave as the headliner. Brilliant. Okay. Bye.
Good luck, Kat.
Thanks. I guess I've got some work to do. Fantastic. Let's get my
Joseph.
event organizer hat on.
All right. I think the other thing is, I think we should use one of the intels to get a schematic of the underground of the Blue Tree Tower.
Okay. So do you have a word with Bear to? Is that the intel from Meridius?
Yeah, I guess it. Bear, are you happy with that?
Yep, sounds like a plan.
Okay. I mean that makes
Okay.
sense because it was from Mary. So, you meet presumably you meet up with Mary to get this kind of information.
You can just send it over, right?
Well, he offers you the choice. I can either send it electronically, or, I mean, you've always struck me as a bit of an old-fashioned kind of guy. So if you wanted like a
Yeah, I tell you what,
physical-
Mary, option 1, thanks.
Absolutely. Do you want me to let Ellie know that I've sent you an attachment in case you need help opening it?
Yeah, fuck you too, Mary. All right, thanks.
You can't see it, but you can hear the smirk. You can't see it, but you can hear the smirk. And as you like hang up on Mary, like a file.
I call Kat. Kat, how do I open this?
I'm a bit busy with Instagram right now, Marcus.
Okay.
So,
Off the back
one
of
these files.
off the back of that intel, you reveal some knowledge, and you now have like schematics of what. So specifically, what sort of thing are you looking at? Just schematics of the downstairs. So, I mean, effectively, that means if you're like lost, if you're navigating your way out, you know which way to go.
So ideally, of the foundations of the Blue Tree, and then maybe check that against open source data of the underground and the sewer system.
Sure. I'm going to ask for a. I'm going to ask for a research. So
Okay.
you've got the knowledge that you can kind of compare it to. So by all means, take +1 forward to do your research of the. Because if
wait.
nothing else, you've got like Meridius's schematics, but like comparing that to other things, making sure like what's out of date, what's in date, what's been changed. Like you know that it's very unlikely that you're going to find a set of schematics with what is presumably a secret laboratory mapped out on it.
Yeah.
So it's just a case of like trying to figure out like with your knowledge, how would that fit? What would go where? Like knowing the foundations of the buildings, that they can't obviously take out a foundation, so like it's got to build around it, etc. So yeah, give me a research with +1.
Okay, I think Mark is going to ask Price for some help with the research.
Okay.
Yeah.
Price, how does the
Yeah?
computer work?
I've got no idea. I'm attached to a few in hospital at the moment.
That is a good point. You call Price, and Price is out of action as it currently stands.
What happened, Price?
I fell. I twisted my ankle.
All right. Oh, get well soon. I'll send you
I
flowers.
fell down a stone elemental.
Yes. I'll be
Okay.
there in a couple of days. I'm just fixing it.
So I want to ask Bear. Does Bear feel inclined to help if Marcus asks for?
You're asking Bear for help with.
Oh, forget I asked Bear. You're good. I'm just gonna straight roll on.
It appears that your burnt bridges have caught up with you, Marcus. Okay. So, which of these questions do you want to ask? Yeah. So, effectively, you're like,
I'm trying to find a breach. That's what I'm. So between the blue tree schematic that Mary has given us and the London Underground sewer system, I'm trying to find an area where there's like the least amount of, or the wall essentially, or distance.
So, where would I find like the weak spot, or
Yes.
something along those lines? You are able to, through your research, figure this out. Like there is a point, like it's quite a way. Like one, basically, the underground tunnels are disused, but there is a point where you notice that, like, you managed to find an underground tunnel elevation from like the pre-awakening, and you realize that there is a point where the structure is thinnest, like the obstacles are thinnest.
Okay, Marcus will go there with Bear.
Well, it's within the. When you say go there with Bear, you mean
In the sewer or the underground.
Oh, okay, I see. Before you do, your snooping has
He's
aroused
noticed.
some suspicion.
All right.
Okay, so if you and Bear are heading to like the abandoned tunnels, as you're kind of walking through the gloom, you find your minds cast back to that fateful day when the houses of Westminster were destroyed, because it was not these exact tunnels, but one's very similar to it, just further south, like 2 miles south of you.
Yep.
And yeah, you can't help but feel that you've almost come full circle with working a job with Mary in the tunnels underneath London. But sure enough, you come onto the spot where the wall is weakest.
Bear, in your opinion, what kind of explosives we need to get through this? I mean, from the other side, but we're gonna blow it up when we need to get out.
Bear gives Marcus a look that questions why he thinks I would know.
Carry a bag.
I'm literally carrying a fire axe, Marcus.
That's what I thought, Bear.
Big
Well,
ones.
We're thinking alike. Big ones. So, Dan, I imagine we're looking. What is it? A concrete wall, and there's like 2, 3 meters, 4 meters, 5 meters, 10 meters of separation. Is there dirt? What is the?
So, I mean, okay, I'm going to base my understanding on what you're currently looking at based on based on like Skyfall, in the tube train tunnel segment. But yeah,
Yes.
effectively, it's just like stone wall, like brick wall in front of you. You know that there's like stone behind it, like stone and dirt. There is realistically, if you got quite a big set of like directional satchel type charges, from your reckoning, if you were to set up explosives on this side and then also set up explosives on the other side, like when you're in the building, then the explosions of concussive force will be able to shatter in the wall that separates the building and the tunnels. It's going to be loud, but it needs to be to punch through this much.
And like a drill, would a drill work? Like get a big, huge mechanical drill that.
I mean, the alternative is like you could hire out if you were able to obtain a drill. It's so you know that you would get into like an access tunnel. Like you don't know if drilling through this wall would just land you in what you hope is going to be a secret laboratory. But it would get you into pretty much the right area. Like you'd be able to. This would be an alternate entry and/or exit point. So you can either use explosives to create the hole on the day, or I mean, you could, if you were able to very quickly source like a big mining drill. You might be able to get through it now, but you obviously run the risk then of being discovered because it would be loud.
Bear, what do you think?
I think quick and sudden is probably better than relying on us having time to drill our way through when all hell's breaking loose.
I was thinking of hiring a crew. Maybe some of your dwarven friends. They have a drill. We could hire them out.
Marcus.
What? What? It's a real idea. They could drill for us. They're working mines.
I think. Have you
Let's
two got links?
go home.
'Cause I think, Bear, if you wanna redistribute one of your links with Marcus to someone else, feel free.
Can you go negative?
That's an honest idea.
So, Bear seems to think that perhaps, using explosives rather than dwarven like dwarf power, would be the ideal solution.
All right. Okay, I'll use a piece of gear then to get some explosive, and we'll pre-place those explosives in at that spot.
Yeah. So, is this the gear that you got from your delivery job?
Yeah.
Okay, so you
Remember Deep Rock Galactic? You know that drill thing that goes through the tunnel. It's like that.
You can use produce equipment. You just so happened to have a truckload of directional satchel chart, like explosives from. Basically, it's a little extra. It's an accounting error on Thompson's part. He's just got some extra explosives that he's like, oh yeah, if you wanna blow something up, it's nearly the new year, isn't it?
Yeah, make a firework.
Okay, perfect. So you produce explosives for the tunnel.
So I guess we'd prime the ones on this side now, would we? And then we'd have the rest on us to do the other side when we're.
That's it.
Getting out.
So you can, like, if you detonate both at the same time, the concussive force will just kind of pulverize the stone in, and then
we should have a clear route out.
Okay, so with that in mind, Marcus, you've established an escape route, if nothing else. Ellie, you have established that Manor Whispers is on site. Your impromptu ad campaign.
Yes. Want me to roll something for it?
How are you approaching this task?
Oh my god. I think I'm probably gonna go on. Maybe I could go on some kind of Fiverr-like website and employ a load of little influencers to.
Yes.
Like that YouTube guy in New York last week. Look at that.
Exactly like that.
What's that?
Did you see that? The flash mob in New York that the police had to destroy.
Sure, that.
Yeah.
I'll just get a bunch of Instagrammers and the like, or whatever the equivalent in this era in Neo London is, to circulate the news of this underground, very secret, unofficial party. Rave Dave is the headliner, and it's going down on New Year's Eve right outside Blue Tree headquarters. Let's have fun while sticking it to the man.
Yes. Rave Dave.
In this
Eve
moment,
Dave.
Rave Dave.
Rave Dave.
In this moment, what I'm effectively going to ask
Right.
is that because you've not really had contact with him before, so we're going to declare Rave Dave as your contact.
Yes.
Okay. And then, because you, like, obviously he's the linchpin, right? Like, he's going to be the DJ.
Sure.
So I'm going to need you to hit the street with Rave Dave,
Eve
who
Dave.
is, the last time you saw him, I believe, you agreed to not murder him.
That's all right.
Outside
You're
like
right,
a
we did.
fast food restaurant that after brutally murdering his fellow gangers.
Wasn't it actually? Didn't we see him again at the docks?
Yes.
Some point. Was that
Yeah,
in a previous
previous life.
age? In a previous life?
You have
Yeah.
met with Ray Dave on multiple occasions. Every time he's seen you, he's
Narrowly escaped death.
He's narrowly escaped death. He's publicly
Sometimes at our hands.
proclaimed that he's turning a new leaf, only to later find him again in a similar situation. He is the epitome of like he imagines himself as one of London's greatest punk anarchists. But he just keeps on falling in with the wrong crowd.
That's all it is. He's a victim of circumstance. Shall I hit the street?
Yes, please.
Oh, flippin' heck. It's a 3. It does not... Well,
Okay.
Well, it might attract a lot of attention.
quite a lot of attention. Maybe that's what we want.
Rave. So, how do you meet him? Like, how do you converse with him?
Boy, I don't know. I mean, maybe
Use an alias.
I definitely don't want to go as myself. Like, can I call him with one of those voice modulators on? Like, one that makes you sound like this or something. I don't know. Like,
Sure. Okay. You reach out to Rave Dave. Rave Dave.
Rave Dave.
Rave Dave.
Rave Dave is from our D&D sessions.
Yep. Let's show this to Tom, by the way.
And you know it's going to be a bad time when the first interaction between the two of you is, "Right, darling."
Right. Hello,
it's-
Dave.
Okay.
This is
This is a friend. How would you like to DJ for a big crowd on New Year's Eve?
You strike up the conversation with Rave Dave. He's very amenable to the idea.
Oh, that sounds absolutely fucking great, darling. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'll get some of that, yeah. Yeah, spin the decks. Yeah, it's been a while. But, yeah, I'm gonna need, I might need a rider. I'll send that in your direction. But, yeah, tell you what. Yeah, you give me a time and a play. New Year's Eve. Oh, yeah, I'm free New Year's Eve, yeah, surprisingly. Yeah, normally I'm like, booked up for years, but last minute cancellation, you know, so... yeah, I'll be there. Yeah, sounds good. Like outside the Blue Tree Tower. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, nice, lovely jobs. Yeah, how many? 1,000? Yeah. All right, babe. Yeah, sounds good.
I don't have to say anything. This is great. This is going really well for me.
You sweet cheeks can count on me.
That is good. Thank you for your cooperation.
He ends the call by sending you his personal telephone number, just in case you want it.
Why does this always happen to Ellie? Why?
because you keep on getting thrust in front of the grimy men. And with that in mind, we have a distraction for the entry. We have so on the
I'm gonna need to know what happened from my terrible attempt to get Rave Dave on board.
I have made a move.
Thanks.
The night, it's the day. So it is New Year's Eve day. And Bear, you're starting to get a bit itchy. How do you normally meet with? Do you just head with Ferret? Do you just head to his pawn shop, his pawnbroker shop?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of know there are several sort of like dumping grounds around the city where he scavenges. So I sort of do a circuit of those, or if he's not in any of them, then I probably head to the pawnbrokers.
Sure. When you do your lap of his haunts, his local haunts, before finally ending up back at his kind of pawnbroker shop. And he, as you enter, he initially, like, reflexively grimaces and like flinches slightly, but then realizes, oh no, wait, and then he stands up. And there you are, buddy. Yeah. I was just actually going to reach out to you. Actually, yeah, it's been yeah, I managed to get you some ID badges.
Right. Hand them over then.
And as he hands them, as he sort of like reaches under and he pulls out what is effectively like a brown paper bag, I will let you make the choice. Either he may or may not have gotten a little bit caught on the way out, or there's only 3.
What does a little bit caught look like?
The a little bit caught means their security may be heightened because someone was caught nabbing. Well, he was chased out of the building, but it seems like he went in very last minute. So by the time that they sort out, like, revoke security clearances for them, figure out which of the badges are missing and revoke security clearances, like, you'll be able to use them, but they'll be more alert.
Sure.
So
Take the 3.
they're more alert, or he only managed to get 3 instead of 4.
Definitely 3.
Take the 3.
Figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose I'd have in the back of my mind that last mission Price was able to turn me invisible. So he could potentially do that to one of us again. Yeah, magic solves all problems, right? So, yeah, go for that.
Bear says as Price sprawled out at home on the Sudan.
It also creates a load of problems we didn't have before. But
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like alcohol, really.
So,
yeah, exactly.
Ferret looks to you with a gleaming smile, wonky gold tooth, shining to the heavens, and
You got an Armani t-shirt.
With his Armani suit on. And when I say Armani, it's an Armani suit over his like dirty, grungy t-shirt and holy trousers. And here you are, 3 pristine IDs.
3.
Yeah. That's how many you asked for, right?
No. Bear's not laughing. I asked for 4, Ferret. You know the difference between 3 and 4? It's the number that comes after 3.
And he looks to you and he looks down and he looks to you and he looks down and, well, there you go. And he just slides the paper bag of 3 across and sort of like grimaces. And but we're still on for, you pissing off and never harassing me again, right? I didn't have much time, you know.
Yeah,
If I had one extra day, I reckon I could have got a fourth.
I really want to pull that gold tooth out with extreme violence.
With your axe.
Yes. But I think realizing that he better get back to the others without causing a ruckus, he's going to swallow his rage and just give Ferret a curt nod and turn on his heel and walk out the shop.
Nice to do business with you, bear. See you later.
And like there's the cowbell-esque tonk 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 as you close his pawnbroker shop door.
I'm gonna close it with far more force than is needed.
You hear a crash as the bell falls down and it comes off the door. Okay, so it seems like you've now got a distraction. You've got an entry method, you've got an exit method, you've got a tool to use on the mission. You seem to all be good to go.
Not yet.
Not yet?
Shopping.
Yes, absolutely.
Shopping!
Yeah, I've got a few things to quickly
Oh,
do
right.
as well. Yeah.
Jake, can Price get some tromoderms, please? Whilst he's at the hospital. Hey, Price!
Steal
Why-
some
listen-
trauma.
While you're at the hospital, can you get some tromoderms, please?
Yes, how much is that going to cost me?
They're free. You just pick them up and leave the hospital with them.
Wow.
Done.
So, Bryce, you're going to have to.
Pay for your treatment for a start.
For a start,
Yeah.
yeah. If you're in a hospital, if you're in a street clinic, you'll have to pay for your treatment for a
Yeah,
start.
how much is that to get me back to normal?
Oh, okay, we're actually doing that. Okay, cool.
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
So I want a cutscene of Mavis wheeling me out in a wheelchair with a bag of grapes on my lap, and she's got my car keys. She then wheels me to it to get me in there. I don't want her to go and take me to go and see Gerard. I'm going to declare a contact of Gerard. He's an very old man on an allotment at the back of the one of the little churchgoers.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah.
And is Gerard, sorry, the one that's patching you together?
Gerard and his
No, the
purchases.
hospital's patched me together. Gerard collects old Second World War memorabilia, and I'm going to go blackmail him for a sword and some medals, because I want a sword now. And I want some medals that I'm going to enchant with my alchemy thing. And then I'm going to get...
What's the sword for?
I need a weapon. I'm fed up.
This church is ludicrously forgiving of your antics.
How's your
No.
meat score?
Okay.
It's fine.
Is it?
No, it's more wave it wildly.
Okay, so price. Yes, thank you. Mark Anton's just popped in the chat. So, do you want the significance of your wounds, given that they are kind of magical in nature?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to argue it's actually for the severity of your wounds, either 3 cred for a street doc who is also awakened. And that's the equivalent of gunshot wounds.
Yep.
Or 4 cred for discreet medical services for life-threatening wounds. So it's not
4
life-threatening,
cred,
but 4 cred.
Oh,
Okay,
4 cred, let's do it.
4 cred.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're also rich.
So in which case you can, your soul, your spirit, it comes out of the doctors with bandages around it. There's a little plaster. Okay, so but that that obviously takes a little bit of time. So you have managed to come out of there. If you wanted to purchase Traumaderms at the same
Purchase
time,
And a sword.
and a sword. The waiting hats.
There'd be one credit each, right?
I believe.
Yeah, spending 1 credit will get you basic restricted gear from a fixer, sidearms, hunting weapons, ammo.
Yes, correct. So it's 1 cred per Traumaderm.
And how much for a sword? 1 cred?
So yeah, the sword and the medals. 1 cred.
Okay, so I'll get a sword and the medals for a cred and 5 traumaderms.
Okay.
Wait. Get Price. Get 2 tromoderms and a big med kit.
We're
Now-
going to carry that, haven't we?
I've got a note in my notes for the hospital mission we did that I picked up a first aid kit. Can I still have that?
Is that a tromoderm or is that a
No, it's not a trauma derm. It's a first aid kit. I don't know if that
EMT
counts
kit?
as a
Oh,
EMT
kit.
Maybe.
Oh, that's
It's an
cool.
EMT kit. It's a pretty bulky thing, but you can use it. It's got everything from like you can use it at any point of injury.
Okay, that's good. Okay, we don't need that, so you can buy your 5. We don't need that many though. Price. You can get like 2 or 3.
I've got them. Got them now. Nice.
Yeah, Price is swimming in it. This is just for his recreational use. Okay, so you've got 5 traumaderms. You've got a weapon and
Sword. My 4 medals. I'm gonna. In fact, first of all, I need to get the group together. My initiates. I need to get some arcana off of them all. So we're gonna get them all together at the derelict, the site of the church now in scaffolding.
What are you doing?
You're
Jake?
just going to drain them of power of their life source.
No, we all get together and they give me arcana.
Turn all these like church interns into withered husks.
Hi.
Price is just on a rampage, just like all morality.
On a rampage. I rolled badly for the first 2. I'm now going to take it out of the game.
okay. So yeah, you summon you summon the little old ladies who form your magical society.
Yeah. Yay!
Hey! Okay.
Hey.
So
3
you
arcanas,
gain
please.
3 arcana.
Wow.
Right, so we're going to use one of those arcanas to summon another elemental.
No,
We're
go
gonna
with
do
it.
this.
We've
We're
been in
gonna
before,
do
Jake.
this.
We know how it's
Are
going.
we giving up on it? Are we giving up on it?
Just
No,
summon it.
Fine. No,
Summon
we
it.
can do that. We can summon it during the mission if we need it. I've got that. Okay, and then I
Very
need
good.
to create with the 4 medallions. I'm going to do a trinket for each person to give them while they're wearing it. They get +2 to their armor.
Okay.
Yay.
So I'm
Okay,
going to
so it's
need
gonna be
4 caster
excellent.
spells.
4 manipulation rolls. So for myself,
Oh, no.
I know for myself. Yay! It's lovely.
Mhm.
Not giving me any bonuses.
11.
For Bear,
Yay!
12.
for Ellie,
Do you give?
right, still works,
Okay.
and for Marcus.
Hey!
Yay! We're back. We're back. So you've all
What
got
is that?
+2 armor for the mission.
What does that mean for Ellie, the fact that it was partial?
So for the caster spell, because it's actually it's a good thing you didn't roll that, isn't it? So on a
9.
on a 7 to 9, you cast a spell but choose 2. So you suffer drain. The effect is loud or otherwise attracts attention. One aspect of the magic is not entirely under your control. I will choose one and twist it. I will choose a feature of the spell and twist it.
I like the sound of being loud, so every time she gets hit, it like goes dong or something.
When we say the effect is loud, that is like realistically a clock's going to go up.
Oh right, okay.
Like the magic, so someone notices that someone's just chain casting manipulation spells.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, solid. Let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll let you choose some effects that it has on her as well.
Oh yeah, just choose 2. Okay. I will say that. So it's on the medallion. It's a little medal, right?
Yeah, they're like because old Gerald's sort of like a Second World War collector, so I just got some of his an old cavalry sword and some of his little medals that he might have collected from the Second or Third World War.
Okay.
They could be inappropriate medals. They could be from the wrong side.
So this is on New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Like it's a few hours before. Like no one's seen Price in a few days, and he like gingerly walks in, like grumpily puts down a sword and 4 war medals, just stand there, and he starts like casting these spells. Marcus, he hands you a war medal. Bear, he hands you a war medal. Price, you slap a war medal on yourself, and then as he casts a final spell and hands it to Ellie, you all watch as this medal starts glowing with the intensity of a small sun.
Oh dear.
Brilliant.
And you'll have to shield your eyes for its brightness. And as Price clamps his hand over it, even through his hand you can see it glowing. So it will just be very noticeable that you've got it on your person.
Right. All the time, or just when I activate it?
While it's active.
Right. Okay.
So you can choose to have. So I think with the talismans, you choose when to turn them on.
Yep.
So when you do turn it on, yours will glow like a beacon.
So I'll have +2 armor, but every member of the SWAT team will see me.
And you get to really rely on that +2 armor.
You'll be lit up like a Christmas tree.
Send a couple of flares up. It's fine.
I mean, it's an appropriate time of the year. So, okay, right. You're all.
Yeah.
Is there any more shopping that you're wanting to do?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course there is.
Yes. Yeah. Marcus is subscribed to the Brass Fairies book club.
Right.
Club.
So there's a meeting of the book club. Marcus will attend. The book of the week is Pride and Prejudice. So Marcus takes his copy and we'll go attend the book club. And we'll,
You actually reading Pride and Prejudice, Marcus?
the oldie classic, yeah.
Yep, we'll attend the meeting and with the Brass Fairy and all the other ladies. And try and wrangle a grenade launcher, some fragmentation grenades, and some gas grenades out of the Brass Fairy.
I am going to, because you're asking to do business at book club. Please hit the street.
Yes, sounds about right. Anybody else want something? Shopping list?
All good.
Oh, you got all your stuff. Hit the street. Let's go. Ooh. 7.
Okay,
I'll take it.
So, as you you're going through and you're taking a break because all of the other old deers, are kind of nattering and swooning over Mr. Darcy. And as you kind of lean over to the Brass Fairy, she rolls her eyes and tuts at you. She looks down. She sort of aggressively pulls her cardigan over her shoulders and.
I knew it was business when you turned up here. What are you after, dear? What are you after, Marcus? Come on.
Listen,
I've got something stashed away.
I love this book.
Right.
And look. Here's my. I took some notes.
Uh-huh.
And it's like a drawing of like a tube with like an explosion, and like another one with like a grenade and some people running away.
Tree.
Oh no! Listen, I need a grenade launcher attachment for my rifle, some fragmentation grenades, and some gas grenades.
Right.
That's all I need.
Right.
In big order.
But Marcus, this is a sacred place, and you're asking me to do business on hallowed ground. And I'm going to need you to choose 2 of these poisons, Marcus.
All right.
It's going to cost you extra. It's going to take me time to go to my stash. Everyone is going to notice I'm selling you high-yield weaponry. Or I'm going to need some help.
What do we want? It's going to cost. I'm going to pay more.
Okay.
And your contact needs you to help them out with something. If you turn them down, take money on going.
So the job that she would propose, if you take that, is another book club has another weapons dealer has moved in on her territory, so she needs you to make them get gone. She doesn't want them killed because it's bad for business, but she does need them convinced to choose somewhere else to hawk their wares. You suspect that if you do this, given how late in the day it is, you might miss the start of the mission.
Marcus picks up his phone. Hamish, you been selling guns again?
It is not Hamish.
Told you not to.
Funnily enough, it is not Hamish. No, Hamish just no. I'm stuck at the community centre. Like,
Listen, you have no prospects if you stay at the community center.
the bear's told me if I leave, he's going to break my ankles.
Well, listen. Don't listen to Bear. Hang up.
So yes.
Should we move up the legwork clock instead?
Move up the legwork. Okay.
Oh no.
10 o'clock.
Right, because it stops afterwards.
Isn't it meant to alternate between legwork and action?
No, actions when we're in the actual mission.
No. We've always done it that you
For
during
cred.
legwork.
All right.
That's for cred.
Then a noob tube plus frags and gas grenades.
Okay.
How much is that?
So a boom tube. So grenades is 2 cred. But did you say you're paying
Shit.
extra?
Yeah.
So 3 cred.
What the fuck?
And expensive or illegal gear. So this is arguably
Itty bitty attachment.
okay, given us an itty attachment, it'll be slightly cheaper and then it'll go back up to the cost it was because you're paying extra. So a grand total of 7 cred.
Does that include the gas grenades?
For the grenades and the grenade launcher attachment.
Sold.
Okay.
Of 0 cred. Done.
Ah.
It's a familiar territory.
Balance has been restored to the world. Marcus is poor.
With his arm to the teeth. All right,
How
that's
did you go
done.
from 11 cred to none?
Guns, Ellie, guns!
Poor choices.
I've just given away 20 cred and I'm still richer than you, Marcus.
I don't know. Yeah. Go
Okay.
figure.
Right. Well, so you've raised the clock. Yeah, you turn down the opportunity to help Brass Fairy move on the competitor, and she's like, "Oh, that's right. I was going to sort him out tonight anyway," she says, and sort of like pats what you thought. There's like a blanket next to her, and she pats it, and as she does, the blanket moves, and you notice there's a sawn-off shotgun swaddled in this blanket she's carrying around with her.
Yeah, fair enough.
And she just kind of gives you this 2 grin. And you struggle to make your excuses to leave and end up being at the book club for quite some considerable time, going through Pride and Prejudice.
Thanks. Yep.
It's approximately 10:30. No, so
the legwork
approximately.
clock's at.
Sorry, say again? Yeah, pretty
It's the
much.
same as the leg clock.
Approximately 10 o'clock, yes. You get a anonymous call come through to, or one of you. Who receives the anonymous phone call?
Cat, because we're all still pretending we can't use technology.
Yeah,
Sure.
sure.
The call answers and the vid screen is blacked out. But you hear that there's silence for a few moments, and then you hear, "Are you ready?"
As ready as we'll ever be.
Well, we'll see you there then. And then the phone hangs up.
Excellent.
How are you getting to the location? So you are I'm pretty sure I said you lot are sort of like south of the river.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, this place is Fitzrovia, so between Marlborough and Holborn, so north of the river, obviously. But how are you travelling there? The streets are obviously pretty packed, and there are just kind of sprawling. It's a mixture of sprawling street party, despite the onset of rain. And the streets are just awash with neon and colour as the people of Neo London begin their celebrations. But as you kind of pass through, how are you passing through the shadows? Are you going in your loud, garish?
I don't know if we can get through the streets on it. I'd love to, but I was hoping someone in our group might come up with a plan now that we're starting the mission. I'm assuming we're starting the mission.
Well,
Isn't it free underground and bus travel?
Yeah.
On these?
Let's go on the underground.
That's still a thing?
well, you can certainly get public transport, like through town if that's through the city if that's what you want to do.
You just get an Uber, taxi.
Just get an Uber.
Okay. Well, before we, as you're kind of getting together and you're making your final preparations and you're heading towards the, like the location, Marcus, what do you have in terms of a plan?
All right, as per usual.
Come on.
Copy paste.
Put some welly in it. Come on.
It'd be wrong
All
to
right,
end any other way, really, wouldn't it?
All right, we're gonna use the crowd to get like into the building, or mask our movements into building. Then we will use bear's passes to gain access. One of us will either be invisible or try and acquire another pass. Make our way down to the building. Probably have to knock out some security, I guess. Cat may need to bypass a few doors so that we gain access, and then we gain access to the thing, and we
ping the underground to get into the vault. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we use the nuke device that Cat received.
The hot bleach Armageddon.
Yeah. And then we shoot our way out, and then we make an explosion, and we are in the tunnel.
Okay.
Celebrate you, yeah.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
So just to confirm, we are using the audience gathered by Witch's Cat.
Yes.
We're using the name badges procured by Bear.
Yes.
We're using magic to potentially, well, either how are you magic obviously if Price is going to use magic to get the fourth person in. If not, who is procuring the fourth?
I'll use magic to get us in. I'll go invisible.
Okay, magic to get in. We're going to use Ellie to bypass like security defenses.
Yes.
Okay, so actually, and then everyone else just on point defense.
Marcus is on a security detail.
Okay.
And I guess Bear as well? Question mark. So it's still Marcus. It's the same thing then. It's the same plan. We've tried to mask it in a different way, but it's the same plan.
In which case, as you make your way, as you're in the overground, tram lines that kind of hug and weave between the various skyscraping buildings that dominate the now pitch black, the pitch black Neo-London sky, broken up with signs neon adverts hundreds of feet tall that phase through these floating trams as you move through. You can see the lights and the colours of the celebrating crowds down below, presumably blissfully unaware of what is about to happen. As you kind of look left and right on this sky train, at all of the revelers around you, you realize in this moment how truly different a world they live in compared to you. And as you get off at your stop, you make your way down the steps back to the ground level. You force your way through the crowds, a lot of people heading towards nearby Camden, for example, and down. You're pushing through the crowds that are moving towards Soho, for example. You find yourselves in front of this behemoth of a structure, the Blue Tree Tower. And as you stand as the crowd kind of parts around you, as you stare up and look at it, the four of you glance across, and away over from you, you see a white-haired man, an Asian dwarf, an Egyptian woman, and a troll nod at you from across the way. And as a celebration float goes past, the four of them disappear into the crowds. As you look back to the tower and realize that this is it. Congratulations, everyone, on completing part 1.
Yay!
Oh.
Oh boy.
Wow, what
Yeah.
a place to leave it.
Ooh.
Gonna get spicy.
Edit out the part 1 bit, just with one. Just.
One.
So we're done. And it all went really well.
Well.
We planned it in such a way that we can't fail.
Yep.
We will rejoin you at the start of the action phase for this final mission. And we will see what happens to you, Mary, and the other runners, and Neo London. So, yes, thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching and or listening. We do stuff like this very, very frequently. So if you like this, make sure you hit the like button. And what can we comment on today? What shall we comment on? What threats you imagined Bear imposed upon Hamish to convince him to no longer work for Marcus? If you like what we saw, say we have lots of stuff like this. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications when we launch new stuff. But with all that said, see you next time.
Bye bye.
Good then.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Welcome to NBN News.
Telling you what you need to know.
We are getting reports of a large flash mob of New Year's revelers partying outside the Blue Tree Tower in central Neo London tonight, led by an unknown DJ reportedly known as Rave Dave.
It is assumed that this rave is part of some sort of social initiative hosted by Blue Tree, and we here at MVN recommend joining in with what could be one of the greatest parties in Neo London.
You never know, you may see us there too.
Ha ha ha. Ha ha. Wouldn't that be funny?
Yes, it would.
Stay tuned as we bring you news of other New Year's Eve parties you wouldn't want to miss from around the globe.
If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and comment down below. You can find more Explorers of Elsewhere content right here. You should also go ahead and subscribe to the channel by clicking right here. Click the bell to receive notifications of new uploads. Until next time, stick to the shadows.